What is up, guys? It is Vontae Zinju here, and I'm coming at you guys with a quick tutorial on how to get rid of Streamlabs OBS, the mini feed right here. Now, this update came out about 4 days ago. For you can drag it up, but like you can't drag it all the way down like you could do originally on Streamlabs. So is with this, like you can't just put this up no more all the way up here. Let me try to mess up a little bit. Yeah, but you can't just like, you just can't drag it down. Basically, all you can just do is this and this. And if you're a streamer like me or Reactor and you record with Streamlabs OBS, all you just want to see is really the, well, if you're streaming, all you just really want to see is like, you know, this right here, just full screen, so you can read your chat up. But what you want to do is click this right here. Now, as you can see, it has a mini feed right here, but you don't want that. This right here, you're gonna want to go to, just put this over here as source selector, mini feed. Just leave all this the same. Basically, make sure this says stream display, audio mixers.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you an easy way to cover your map in-game in Rust when streaming on Streamlabs OBS. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need to do is you need an image to cover up your map. Via the hotkey you're going to use, it's going to let an image.
One KIA. Full straight. 011, lights on in the house. Roger 3. Got movement on the first deck. Right, coming in from the other side. Opening left, low water. No shot.
Team deathmatch. Enemy threats in the AO. Weapons hot.
I am doing it. This will reduce the amount of bandwidth needed to stream in 1080p. If you're not sure about your bandwidth, then test it on speedtest.net. Everything you do. Tap and set your process priority to above normal. And finally, in the output tab, set the mode to advanced, and in the streaming section, set the encoder to NVENC if you have a powerful enough NVIDIA GPU. Otherwise, set it to X264, which stands for constant bitrate. Set your bitrate to something your connection can handle.
Image.
That will work. Dropped frames, skipped frames,
lag within OBS or Streamlabs. So the easiest option to help with stuff.
Everybody, this is Pun the Frugal Streamer, and I want to talk about a subject that is a sore subject for a lot of single PC gamers and streamers, and that is render lag. So a lot of people are mistaking render lag for problems with their encoding settings, problem with their network causing drop frames. It's really not that at all. So let's talk about render lag. Let's talk about some ways that we can try to minimize it, and hopefully we can try to make everybody's streams a little bit smoother and their gameplay too. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so what is render lag? Well, don't get it confused with drop frames, which is related to your network mostly. Do not get it confused with encoding frame loss, because that is related to specifically your output settings on OBS and your video settings, and how your encoder just can't handle that. This is strictly related to the amount of GPU resources you have available. And the big issue right now, especially with games like, let's say Battlefield 5, which I have an issue with, Apex Legends, which I had an issue with, and with games like Minecraft, which I've heard a lot of people complain about, is that when Windows sees that game running, it gives all the GPU resources to it, and everything else that is left fights for that 1%. That is, OBS, any browser programs you may be running in the background, even Discord, all those users use. But to truly fix it, there's nothing that you can do without ruining or lowering your experience. The main effect that you will get is by reducing settings in your game. The game mode actually works now, so you can better, including OBS, allocate resources better, including OBS. So you should see a better performance by using game mode now. Likewise, the high performance power, it wasn't actually given full power properly, but really, start up a bunch of programs that you would normally run while you're streaming, and then open up Task Manager, and in Task Manager,
whenever I have my own mess-ups, mistakes, or issues during my own live streams, I try to turn it into educational opportunities for you, the viewer. That is my job, after all. Well, in the most recent episode of Streamer News, which I just got done streaming, I had the second half of the stream was plagued with these weird frame drop issues where I had render lag kicking up once every minute or so. In the background, that had rotating and stuttering, and it was weird because I just spent a whole behind-the-scenes vlog trying to make sure my face cam here was moving nice and smoothly and I wasn't dropping frames there anymore. Well, I figured out why, and it's actually due to a kind of, less looked at and mostly optimization that you can make that even I myself tend to ignore. I want to show you that right now. This is specifically related to media sources. Now, media sources are videos for overlays and things like that that you can use. So for example, I have this scene wherever it went. This is a just chatting scene that I use. I have a media source that is my webcam frame. So it has a little animated frame going around my face here. And then I've got a rotating background in the background that is also its own media source. Running pretty smooth. If I leave this here, it should stay fine. No issues now. Another media source, for example, could be an ad spot. So for example, I'll play my usual in-video or in-stream TubeBuddy ad. My videos for any length of time, you've probably heard about Tube. There was a frame drop when the transition happened, but otherwise it was going smoothly. Well, during that stream, I went to go play my usual streamer news ad, which is for owned at eposvox.gg/OWN3D. And the original file for it that I usually send it was missing. Usually I have a little compressed copy that I end up playing, and it was somehow not in the place that it was last. And so quickly, to get the ad playing on stream, I found the closest copy I could, which was in an uncompressed DNX HR format, which is very intensive to play back, especially since it was rendered in 4K 60 FPS. OBS did not like that format. It started stuttering, the audio was glitching, things like that. You're not supposed to play those beefy files through OBS. Well, instead of, letting it play out, I just quickly switched scenes and assumed that the stream would be fine. And that is where the render lag issues really kicked up and started plaguing the stream. And that is because I left something unchecked, something very obvious, something very newbie, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So here in my sources list and my scenes list, I have a lot of different scenes. I have a lot of different sources I'm juggling, which makes finding these kinds of problems really freaking obnoxious. But one media source is this TubeBuddy ad spot, which is just a video that plays. I have it set not to loop, and I have it set to show nothing when playback ends. But one box that I did not check, because I assumed it would cause problems, but apparently having it checked was the solution, is close file when inactive. Now what this does is make sure that, well, actually it says right here, closes the file when the source is not being displayed on the stream or recording. This allows the file to be changed when the source isn't active, but there may be some startup delay when the source reactivates. So, that mostly explains it, but my thinking was, okay, if I switch to the scene, I don't want some awkward like pause point when it is loading up the video for the first time. So for the most part, I've always kept this unchecked. However, you can also enable hardware decoding. That was enabled on the first one. If you check it, that means when you do switch scenes, it's no longer loaded up into memory. It's no longer being accessed or tried to be rendered to some degree, and thus will not cause a problem. So by loading up that file on the media source, it was causing a bunch of render lag, and then simply by switching scenes to another scene, it was still doing all of that damage in the background. So just a little bit of an optimization tip, something small here for OBS that a lot of people ignore, that I myself have not covered enough. Just wanted to share it with you. If you're having render lag and have a lot of media sources, that is one such option you can try. Like I said, I just like sharing my mistakes with you, so let me know if you enjoyed it. Hit the like button if you did. Subscribe for more tech education and OBS videos. I am, a streaming guy at this point. Subscribe on Floatplane for early access to videos, behind the scenes content. Go check out that streamer news episode if you